Now, let me ask you this. What kind of roster moves do the White Sox need to make to improve right now? Because obviously Jerry Sands taking up a bench spot isn't best interest of your team.
Start off with the easy things.
Should they play Saladino more? Those are the pressing questions.
It's no doubt that Saladino should be a main starter, not just because of his youth, but because it's so clear he's just the more experienced, not experienced option than Jimmy Rollins, but he's gained all this knowledge he needs from Rollins, and I'll go out there and play and show it.
What I like a lot about Saladino is the sporadic playing time that he's been able to get on the field. He's putting together really good at-bats almost every time, and he's squaring the ball up. I mean, his numbers are pretty decent in limited at-bats, so why not just stick with it? And he's a great glove.
Amazing glove.
I mean, is it really you want to keep your veteran happy, but at the same time you want to win?
You can get Rollins in there. He can play a little third, a little bit of second.
Well, you don't have to bat him, right? Like you said, second in the lineup every night.
Never.
It doesn't have to happen that way.
Never
so what do you think the White Sox should do? Do they have pieces that they can call up, or
start with the things that you can, the easy things like fortifying your bench, which you could do with, if Rick Hahn, had any stones in him, he'd release Rollins right now, bring up Tim Anderson, and then makes it Saladino could be your super utility man. Throw Anderson at shortstop. Yeah. I think he's ready. Really? You think Anderson can play short? I've seen some things that he's not a very good defender. He's took a big step this year at this fielding. Yeah. I don't know if he's a major league shortstop, to be honest. I figured that his position might be second or third. They're very much relying on that. Well, not second or third. I don't know, man. If he can't do shortstop, he won't be able to do those. Second base is a lot easier to play than shortstop, I'll tell you that. And I think if you're decent enough, if you could play short, you could play second and third. It's also a pride thing. Well, sure. Everybody wants to be a shortstop. That's the hardest position to play on the field. But at the same time, I don't know how much the White Sox are looking at Anderson. Now, I'm not close to the team, but I'm not sure if they think that he's this guy that they can not build around, but just really have faith in to come up and be a boost. He just needs to come up and show anything. It wouldn't be that hard for him to outproduce Rollins right now. Yeah. And why not? Why not go out there and see if your top prospect, the White Sox can't. The White Sox, if you look at their history in the last 15 years of calling up position prospects, they've maybe they do that. Maybe they do that in July. But if they pull some out of their hat and call them up at the end of June, I'll be kind of shocked because I'm not sure if I wouldn't be. I don't know. I'm just looking at Tim Anderson, and I just don't really see much. Would you be okay if they traded him? Because I know he's been in talks with Shields and the Padres. I know that's the biggest name right now. Nope, you call him up right now. No, I mean, I'm just asking you. I wouldn't trade him. The White Sox have to learn their lesson about trading any prospects they value because they have made the White Sox way. They continue to make the wrong choice with the few guys they draft that are decent. That's how they try and stay relevant every year. They sign guys in free agency and they trade away their farm system in mid-year along with in the offseason. And the never-ending cycle continues. And you have Kenny Williams looking over management. I don't think it's going to stop very soon. So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that they trade Anderson. But I agree with you. I just don't see it happening. Keep him. You have to. You developed him. First-round draft pick back in 2013. He's coming along very nicely. Keep him. So, I mean, that's just me. But I wanted to bring up Shields because he's an interesting name, and he's been linked with the White Sox. Do you think this happens? He's got $21 million a year for 3 more years after this year. I think he signed, what is it, $58 million or something? 4 years, $58 million. It's his second year with the Padres. Was it something like that? Oh, no, it was more. He got somewhere in the 80s or 90s. Okay, I think he might have like $58 million left. I think that's what the number was. And it averaged out to like 19 a year. So can the White Sox afford to take that contract? Because if they do that, then that kind of limits them next offseason. Not saying next offseason's got a bunch of pitching names that they want to go after, but it kind of limits them and restricts them to make moves. What do you think? It depends. It really depends what the Padres value him at, what the White Sox will take upon monetary value-wise. There's so many different things that play with this trade. First of all, the White Sox don't have very much to offer outside of Tim Anderson. Right. So I saw Eric Johnson's name in there. They could probably deal him. I would be okay with that. Yeah, if you could somehow throw together some scrap package. Is there like a guy named Tito on the team? I'm sorry. Are you trying to think of Nicky Delmonico? No. I don't want to trade him. Nah. All right, whatever. Sorry to cut you off. What were you saying? I was just saying. Package of what? I just don't. If they could somehow scrap together a package of a guy like Eric Johnson of a guy like Taylor Danish, some kind of person on their major league roster that the Padres would like. The Padres are probably just looking to dump salary as much as anything.
They want to dump that payroll. I think that's one of the main things. And I don't know. I think they might take it.
I wouldn't mind paying James Shields $14 million a year for 3 more years.
Yeah,
2 or 3 more years. They need it. If there's some way Rick Hahn can pull it off with keeping Tim Anderson and guys like Spencer Adams, you gotta do it.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. But Shields to me is just such a meh guy. You know, he can give you innings.
I mean, he hasn't gone less than 200 innings since 2006,
which is insane. This guy's got like a rubber arm. I don't know how he does it. But
and he just gave up his last start, 2 1/3 innings, 10 runs.
Awful, but at the same time, that was just one bad start.
It only put his earned run average up to 4.2.
I mean,
gotta tell, he's out there.
If
eating
you're the White
innings
Sox,
again.
I think that might be the guy. Are there any bats out there that you're looking at specifically? Maybe Jay Bruce or something?
Jay Bruce was the one on my mind. I mean, he's got over 10 homers, over 10 doubles,
a pretty
about
good
4
year.
triples. He's doing pretty good. The Reds need anything pitching. They need pitching in any capacity you could get it. If you could offer them Johnson, Danish, another pitcher for Jay Bruce, that'd be wonderful. Perfect DH.
Very cool.